Do you know that prostate cancer is a very serious disease? And according to the CDC, it says that 13 out of 100 men will experience prostate cancer at one point of their life, and that prostate cancer is the second most common cancer after skin cancer. My name is Kodos Ibis, and welcome to another brand new episode of Straight from the Roots, where we get to share natural home remedies for all your problems.
Another banger.
Alright, welcome back, guys. Prostate cancer is a type of cancer that actually affects the prostate, and I know that a lot of you might really not understand if you're not male, because I'm talking about the men here, right? Those are the ones with prostate, and the prostate actually is like a walnut shaped, a gland is walnut shaped anyways, that is actually located between your rectum, and your bladder. It's actually a gland that secretes fluids to make your semen healthy anyway, and that's what it does. Now, a lot of people that you see, most men don't know they even have this prostate cancer, or probably just prostate enlargement, and most times they tend to ignore it because it's not something that probably you'll be experiencing when you're still a young person. It happens later on in your life, most times probably from your 50s, but then we've seen people who are having it as early as 40s, and that's why early diagnosis is the best thing. If you can actually just go to the hospital, of course, that's when you're having like the symptoms, right? And if we're looking at the symptoms of prostate cancer or prostate enlargement, which you've seen, sometimes you have this urge to urinate, frequently at night, which is abnormal. And if you notice that your urine doesn't even come like straight up, like when you go to the toilet, you want to pee, you can't, it doesn't come, it starts cutting. That sometimes you might see blood in your semen. So there are things you begin to experience that that around your where you're supposed to, where you're not feeling before, you start to experience them. Now, the good thing is there's already a history of people who have prostate cancer, and so there's a lot of researches to find out what's really the cause. But see, the problem with prostate cancer is this: nobody to this very moment can say this is actually what causes prostate cancer. There's nobody who has said, okay, this is what causes prostate cancer, and that is just what doesn't make sense about it. And that's what a lot of people are trying to wonder. So now since we don't know what causes it, that we don't really know how to prevent it, isn't it? Now, for those who are already having the prostate cancer or the prostate enlargement, I have good news for you. You might be taking all the medications and you feeling like, oh, that this thing, there's no end to it. And I'm talking of, it's really not serious, whereby you might necessarily need to go for an operation. Now, I'm saying this is where you have to actually eliminate it naturally, or avoid it, or prevent it from getting to a more critical stage. And make sure to practice what I'm going to preach here. So, enters in the Soursop. We say Soursop, people call it Soursop, but I think here we call it Soursop. I don't know why, but the actual spelling is Soursop. And the Soursop is actually a very, 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 very proven remedy for prostate cancer. A lot of people use it, but like I said, it's a natural method that actually works for those who actually practice what I preach. Now, there are different ways to use this Soursop. The ways includes either you can get the leaves, because the fruits are quite pricey, they're quite expensive. So the best thing you can do is the leaves. If you notice, like I said, these are natural health remedies, and you don't need any extra thing. Let's say and they are cost effective. Like, I mean, you're not really paying for them, except probably you don't have it in your environment. You probably contact someone to help you get the leaves. They will just do it for you for little or nothing, right? Now, if you get the leaves, there are two methods you can actually use, and probably you can decide that you want to use the method of boiling, which I normally recommend. So if you boil it, you boil the leaves. Of course, 20 minutes shouldn't be too much for it. You boil the leaves and you drink the, you just take the extract the water and you drink it as tea. Or if you feel like, okay, you don't, because the tree, the soursop is not a fruit you can probably get everywhere, so probably you have an opportunity of getting a whole lot of the leaves. And the best thing you can do is get the leaves, then dry it. Now when I say dry, I don't normally recommend sun drying. I have my reasons for not recommending sun drying. I prefer drying under room temperature. I think with that method, it probably preserves whatever nutrients are still in those leaves, and it dries. You're not forcing the drying; it dries over time. And once you dried it, you take it to the engine, you grind. If you have a blender, you grind it, and it's dried. Now it's powder form. So with the powder form, you can actually use it for a longer time. Of course, it's not going to get spoiled. You're not putting it close to water. You put it in a storage can. So what you do is, every time you actually want to take the tea, and since you don't, it's already dried, right? So you boil your water, you put the dried soursop leaves inside the water. You allow it to cool down for a while, to like you're trying to make a tea, right? You allow it to simmer for a while, then you filter out the water from the already dried leaf, then you drink it. Due to the difficulty of some people actually getting this soursop leaf, if you're actually looking at getting it for yourself, you can actually get it in tea bags form. Like, it comes in tea bags form, up to 15 tea bags, and you can actually check the link in the description. I'll also drop it in the comment section, so you can place an order directly on Amazon, and it will be delivered right to your doorstep, because it's actually going to come like in tea bag form. So you just soak it and you drink and use the instruction, and you're definitely going to see maximum result. Now trust me, this remedy works. Now, like I said, I'm not just sharing something that I don't have evidence on. I have people who use this formula, have people who use this solution, and it works for them. Now mind, do not be afraid. This is what I always tell people. Nature has abundance of healing for every kind of ailment. So if you have been, some of you might be like, oh, I've been trying this soursop, but it's not really working. No, you have to understand that with nature, most times it's correcting. Correction is different from when you are trying to find a quick solution. This is not some quick solution we're looking at here, right? We're looking at something that corrects your entire system, and it might take a while, because after all, the disease that you are experiencing didn't just start once. It took a while before it became what it is, right? So you just have to be patient and follow this procedure. Of course, the soursop is not the only solution I have, but like I said, it's a proven solution, and there are other solutions out there that are natural. And so that in case you don't have the soursop leaf in your environment, definitely I'll be dropping another video of a solution to still this prostate cancer. And mind you, like I said, early diagnosis is the best thing you can do for yourself. So probably if you're around the 40 years and above, it's something that you should go for, for diagnosis, and find out if you actually have the problem, most especially if you have the symptoms I just mentioned. And most importantly, create a balance for your life. Like I always say it every time, balancing is everything that we actually need. You don't need to start saying, okay, because this is where I want to go and this is what I want to do, and therefore you ignore every other aspect of your life. If there is already medication that you're taking and the medications are not giving, this might be something you can now introduce to supplement and see how it works for you. Like I said, balancing is everything we need. So I hope you enjoyed the topic, and if you want to, this whole playlist, like I said, is straight from the roots, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of natural remedies for all our ailments. that any of us will be experiencing or experiencing, someone, just make sure to go through the playlist. If you want the cure for malaria, the prevent the malaria, we have typhoid, they're on the playlist, so you can kindly go and check, and if you have any questions for me, please do make sure to ask me in the comment section and share to your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe, because it takes a lot of time to make these videos, and you can see I'm actually very, very sweaty, so it's not really easy for me. But then I'll see you guys some other time. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.